Gangstalking with Dr. DePracto. Yeah. My name's Dr. De Facto. I had this guy, Ernie. He was into witchcraft. I can't even do that crap. Mic check. Okay, I guess my everything's working. It doesn't seem like it on my screen, but I'm gonna get into this topic here. I just wanted to do a little joke in the beginning of Dr. De Facto. You know, I always thought he had a good live stream. Oh shit, I should keep my car on. You know, I like to do these car streams. All right, this is going to be a kind of an important topic if you want to get into the old psyche of Matrix Dakota. Let me stop looking at my phone. Let me turn down the brightness. Let me get everything ready here, because you know when you're on YouTube, if you're a content creator, there's a circle that is a feedback audio indicator of your voice, and it's just being laggy, and it's really distracting me. So I'm not going to even pay attention to that right now. So I try to do my little gang stalking Dr. De Facto fucking voice, man. These targeted individual channels, hey, I might be bunched into this either at one time or another, or maybe you don't even like the content now. I understand that. These boring targeted individuals are like one trick ponies, man. They're just like, at the end of the day, you just question if they're fucking really telling you the truth. Like, I'm on my channel, you can be your own judge. I assume most people don't believe everything I'm saying because I'm an anonymous person. I don't show my face. You know, I've shown some details of my life though, but I don't show my face. That's for protection, obviously. You know, I'm going into YouTube blind. Like, there's these people that are trolls that like will call your work, and like just because you make a video, like obviously when you're making a YouTube video, most of the time you're not being serious. You're kind of just speaking on your ideas, your beliefs. Maybe if you're a conspiracy, like I consider myself, you can consider myself a conspiracy theorist. So nothing is fucking concrete fact, and I'm not promoting that on this channel. That's including my gang stalking testimony, as in I may get things wrong here, right? And that's gonna be stuff I'm gonna be discussing with this topic of the break-ins, the home invasions, and the psyop mind games. Now, out of everything that I'm claiming on my channel, I probably got, well, I wouldn't even say that because with the car thing, you don't know for sure. So I'll go into what my targeting is for people that are new, okay? So traditionally, gang stalking is like a harassment campaign that's supposedly a lifelong campaign, right? Neighbors, workplace, that's all mental delusions, okay? There is such thing as whistleblowers being harassed, okay? People that know information that are want to be silenced from, let's say, the Freemasons or Boeing or the government or this and that, and you actually do know information or you're a potential threat. So they run a harassment campaign where they financially sabotage you, they follow you around. Like, this is stuff that really does happen, okay? Now, as far as the TI community, when you think everything is gang stalking and every little thing, you can get confused that way, but that's just not true. So in this topic of the break-ins, I'm going to admit up front that I was wrong about a lot of the break-in shit, okay? But that's not me making up lies, because first and foremost, that just makes me look crazy. It doesn't help me, okay? But when you're a TI and you're immersed in this culture of being a targeted individual, you think that there's stuff going on that's not going on, okay? And it's up to you to be smart enough to figure out what's true and what's not and decipher that. I mean, it's not your responsibility to know everything, right? But you have to be responsible of giving accurate information on what's happening. Don't lie, don't embellish. So with the break-ins, I've made probably the most mistakes out of any other technique I'm talking about and tactic. So one headlight, because again, I'm going through a process. You learn information from YouTube that's just false information, and you decipher better information based on your life experiences. and you just give your best guess. Like that's all you can really do. You can't just make it act like everything's concrete here. So one headlight gang stalking, I don't think is real. I don't think people are being paid with one headlight. Maybe it was real in the past. It seems like it. It's not people just talking out their ass. Like you're gonna get, like I was getting upwards of hundreds of one headlights in the daytime. Like if I'm driving to do one delivery or one little short drive on a 5 mile route, like I would see dozens. Like it would be like every 3 or 4 cars. It's just like statistically impossible. But does that mean they're being paid? Absolutely not. It could be something else. Like the phenomenon itself is not normal because you live a life, you know, you don't see a million one headlights, right? So you come online and you're like, oh, there's such thing as one headlight gang stalking. This bleeds into the break-ins, right? So we're gonna talk about the break-ins because I'm a first person. Like again, there's people that believe in my story. This is what I'm talking about. My testimony here. This is who I make the content for. Okay. If you want to be skeptical, that's fine. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you for what, 3, 4 years to what, make $0. I'm not. And then even if I was, like, what am I teaching you? Like, I'm making what, memes and having fun and like being a diverse, like a normal human, like a unique person, right? I'm not forcing you to do anything. I'm not even forcing you to believe me. I'm just going to tell you what happened in my fucking life. That's what I'm going to report exactly what happened in my fucking life. It's not a hallucination because I have video proof of everything. Like I have a hard drive full of what, hundreds, I wouldn't say 100, probably between like 100 200 videos of like actual instances of like harassment, vandalism, and it was all in a condensed period of time. Okay. So like right now, I live in a house with other people and I'm not experiencing the break ins because other people live here. If you logically think about it, if you're not stealing anything and you're just harassing a singular person, you're not going to sit outside of someone's house with a van like, oh, they're all gone now. Finally, it took 4 months for everyone to be out the house. Like, we've been waiting just to move a cup from the living room. Like, come on. Because, first of all, you're going to assume other people that live in the house are doing the minuscule tactics, okay? So we're going to go into it. Why they do the break-ins, what are the break-ins, what to expect from a break-in. This is going to be for newer targets. So if you're new to the channel, like again, this is going to be able to help you. So when you first start getting gaslit and gang stalked, you're usually living by yourself. You're not going to be living with parents. You might have one person living in your house. Okay, one. But if you're living in a house full of family members or a girlfriend and kids, and there's always someone in the house, you're not going to experience any. You will experience break-ins, but it's. So let's go over the rules for break-ins. So we're assuming that this is some type of private investigator, law enforcement associated group, right? So they know. Let's pretend, because I don't like to go into theories, but let's pretend it's the FBI that's breaking into your house because you're part of the gang stalking program, right? Or the CIA or the NSA or the Fusion Center, right? So these people would be law enforcement like officials. So they know every law. So they know, oh, if someone breaks in your house and you don't have a camera and there's no forced entry, there's no crime if nothing is recorded. So that's how they're going to operate in that window. So my break-ins, I was living by myself in an apartment, right? And this apartment was filled with illegal immigrants. Now, I'm from Florida. Illegal immigrants, this is my experience with them, like hardworking people, never steal from you, never break in your house. You might not be friends with them, you might not because they have the language barrier, but they're too busy working and doing family activities to do that. Like they're the least likely. There's some bad seeds, right? But like just in general, like a Spanish person isn't gonna break into your fucking house. They have plenty of money. They have more money than fucking I do. Like I deliver pizza to Spanish people. They have like fucking thousands of dollars in a while. They're not breaking in my house because all I have is like a fucking Xbox and a fucking flat screen or something, right? They don't give a fuck. They'll buy that shit. That's their culture, right? So that all changed when I lived in my neighborhood, okay? North Carolina. So I believe, in my opinion, that these people were working with the police, that they got in trouble with the police, they got in trouble with the Department of Homeland Security, and they'll be used as gophers to break in, because these are the type of people that would break into your house. The person that's orchestrating it is going to be a law enforcement type official, okay? Someone that knows the laws. Like, yo, they're going to coach the person breaking in. So this is important that you understand this, because there's a lot of these skeptics out there. They think that a break-in is just a burglary or someone busting your window. No, these people are coaching. They're part of the intelligence community. They're coaching the person to break in. They have rules. You cannot steal, okay? You can't steal nothing that's worth a value. Now, there's certain items that they can't steal. Like, I believe, I may be wrong. This is where I may have gotten things wrong, and I'm going to go into where I was wrong and how I did test to see if they were breaking in, okay? So I believe they stole, I had 9mm bullets. I believe they stole like a bunch of bullets and left some, right? Because I felt like I had a whole bunch in a little like dollar store pouch, and I just go to the gun range and all that, right? So I felt like I had a whole bunch of them, and then I came home. I could have been wrong, and like a whole bunch of them were missing. So I would estimate, I don't know, because a lot of this is faulty memory that has to do with the break-ins, and the program knows that you're aging, you're not remembering stuff as well, and that it's part of psychological manipulation. So I'm gonna just estimate. I think I had like 90 bullets, and then I came home and I had like 30 or something, but I could be wrong about that. I could be absolutely wrong. But that's the only thing they ever sold. So things that they're not gonna steal money, they're not gonna steal weed, um, they're not gonna steal anything of value. So that's what they're coached on. So they're being, in my opinion, being paid, right? So it's most likely a private investigator, right? So they're gonna hire, in my opinion, this is all opinion because it's based off experience. I don't know for sure. They're gonna either move in someone, hire someone. I know they infiltrate the maintenance men. Okay, so they infiltrate the maintenance men with disinformation campaigns that like you're a chomo, something like that of that nature, right? But they're gonna hire some immediate neighbor or someone that lives close by to be in charge of the break-ins. So I'll give you an example. Like I've been sitting at my house, right? And there was these Spanish people that would knock that were like missionaries and shit. So sometimes they would knock, oh, do you want to go to our iglesias or whatever, the church? But one time, I don't know if it was them, it might have been a different group. They knocked and then they tried to jiggle my door open. So these were like burglars. I don't even think these were actual gang stalkers, right? I'm just giving you the description of my neighborhood, man. Another time, because I used to, my phone and my stuff was hacked, and I'm talking about aggressively hacked. Where if I'm doing DoorDash, they would freeze my app right when I get to the fucking spot. So it was like a remote team that's like, we're gonna fuck with this guy. He's not allowed to deliver, and I'll have to reset my phone, like literally restart your phone, which takes 5 minutes on each delivery to just waste my fucking time. Or if I'll try to do something on Google Maps, click start, I have to restart the apps. And I'm not talking about a couple technical errors. I'm talking about conveniently anything that has to do with money. Uh Other stuff, bro. It was happening pretty fucking bad. Okay, for about a better part of a year. And anything that had to do with money, not all the time, but you could tell it was someone fucking with you. Like I have another gig app, right? Where you pick up shifts to work jobs, right? So you need a code to log in. So they wouldn't let me put in the login code, and like they would just have this. It took 3 hours to load the app, bro. I'm talking about restarting the phone, getting on Wi-Fi, driving around to McDonald's, Burger King looking for Wi-Fi. It was someone that was like actually fucking hacking me. Like, okay. So when you're being a targeted individual, you're being gang stalked. This is the whole scenario. All of your devices are hacked. Just imagine someone at a fusion center who can fucking just like hack all your, and like their job is just to harass you. That's what gang stalking is. It's a conglomeration of tech savvy, resource savvy people that are targeting citizens that are threats and throttling their lives to fucking nothing, right? So My gang stalking, I don't know about yours, they hired illegal immigrants. And I'm not talking about the hard working ones, because bro, I'm telling you, I'm from Florida. Illegal immigrants, they all work, they're all hard working. I don't know if they're good or bad people. They're all hard working fucking, like, that's what one thing Spanish people I know is hard working. These specific people, bro, these people were on meth. Like, there's one dude, he would sit on my porch. Just, he looked like TV Johnny. Anybody familiar with rap? Remember the grill guy, the guy that had the ice grills? He was selling to the rapper TV Johnny. He looked exactly like TV Johnny, right? Because I like to say this person looks like that person. Just imagine TV Johnny on meth. So he would get on my patio and sit on this brick wall because I was on the basement, first floor apartment, and just fucking just smoke meth, smoke cigarettes, drink, and stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning. And part of that is because he's a criminal, and they wanted me to, like, basically shoot that guy, right? That's one part of that. They wanted to take me to prison and have that guy killed. Like, this guy looked like a dirty cartel fucking drug addict criminal. Like, I don't know. I can just read people. He barely worked. He didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, drank every day and shit. He was just a bad seed. And he was perfect fit for the gang stalking program, right? So I don't know if he was breaking in. He might have not even been breaking in. He might have been like a lookout. I felt like they had a lookout situation, right? But he would sit on my porch. So I would go to work for 8 hours. He would sit on my porch, like when I go to work. And then when I come home, he'd be sitting on my porch all night till 3 o'clock in the morning on my patio, screaming on the phone on meth. And doing it on purpose. Like, that's not his personality. Again, I know Spanish people, bro. Spanish people aren't disrespectful. Like, they're not gonna sit on your fucking porch and yell and scream on the fucking phone, bro. Even a black person that's ghetto wouldn't do that. This guy was being paid because he didn't want to work. Like, it had nothing to do with him being Hispanic or whatever, right? He's just this is who they hired to do this shit. So he would sit on my patio and I would walk to work, walk back, and then I would notice a whole bunch of like break-in weird stuff. And again, that could have been my head or it could have been me. Like, one time I had Armani Aqua de Gio cologne, right? And this dude, like, again, I don't know, he lived in my building or something, and he smelled like my cologne. So I put a permanent mark where my cologne was, like how much was left. And I would just test it to see, and I didn't use any of it to see if he was actually doing it. And it turns out he wasn't. See, that's what I'm talking about. There's things that are in your head because you're actually being harassed, right? There's weird stuff going on outside of your home, right? And then you come home and there's weird shit going on. So I'm gonna go into what they'll do as far as the vandalism for your house, right? How severe the vandalism is. Okay. It's not severe at all. Like, it's gonna be very minuscule stuff. So all my paintings in my house, they scratch all my paintings in my house. Like, your painting is hanging on a wall. You buy it brand new. You hang it on a wall. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a new painting you buy from the store. Then it has a giant blue, like, fucking mark on it. So actually, let me go into the most prolific stuff because this happened in the very beginning of the targeting when everything goes heavy. So again, I've told this story again and again. I had a microwave little cart that had wood on top of it. So I come home and I don't know if in my head, someone had to break in with a blowtorch and do it. I come home and I have a picture of this as well. I have evidence of this. I come home and when you see it, it's just obvious. Like, someone did something. Like, you can try to say it was me or whatever, but it's obvious. It's not some little mark that some schizophrenic blew out of proportion. We're talking about an 8-inch blowtorch mark that you come home and there's a blowtorch mark on your wood. Okay. That was in the first apartment. All right. Now, before the break-ins, my car was getting scratched and vandalized. Like, we're talking about two cars that I had that were just getting fucking vandalized every fucking day, every other day, multiple times a day, with fucking scratches, paint being peeled off. They got a paint roller with white paint, and I have a green Honda Civic, and they roll paint on it. I mean, presumably that's what anybody looking at it would see, but hey, who knows? Maybe there's something else going on, man. Maybe it's fucking poltergeist, right? It's not. But again, that's what the experience is. It's like you're being harassed. You're seeing all the tactics. You're seeing all the stuff you see on YouTube primarily. So you'll hear about red shirts on YouTube, then you'll see it everywhere. So I'll get into that all later. That has nothing really to do with the break-ins. So I just want to talk about the break-ins and what they do. So as far as I'm concerned, for my targeting, as far as I noticed, I didn't notice anything with the food. I didn't keep a lot of food in the fucking fridge. Um Vandalism wasn't really that fucking bad. It was bad in the beginning. Now, in the beginning, the first year, you're gonna get the heaviest break-in vandalism, the first year to 2 years. Actual vandalism. So let's go over that. You hear people talk about strings being pulled out of clothes, stupid shit, silly shit like that you shouldn't put on your channel. We get it. But again, I can't say for sure because I don't have the proof of it, right? But presumably they will come and vandalize all your fucking clothes. And again, why do they do this? Why are they doing all this stupid shit? The whole point of it is to gaslight you, to have you call the police, and for you to get shot by cops. That's the whole point of all this. Okay? It took me many years to realize this. What you're going to do is what they're hoping for, the gang stalking program or the harassers that are covertly harassing, that are utilizing all these resources. And I feel like there's different compartmentalized groups, like the people breaking in, vandalizing, like it's all different groups doing this shit. I've heard Satanists do shit like this. Um, that's definitely something right up their fucking alley, is to do this if it really affects you, because it's part of their like witchcraft and all that. It could be the FBI, it could be this, it could be that. It's all different groups and all, you know. There's things that have to do with fucking computer technology. That's like the patterns that I'm showing you. That's not people being paid, like these 666 license plates. Like I was driving on I-95, right? And I've done this so many times where I predict the gang stalking in my head. I literally have a thought, I'm gonna see a 666 license plate. I'm going to Family Dollar, pick up a few items after work. I'm like, you know what? I'm just, I'm being gang stalked. I'm gonna see a 666 license plate. Right after I had that thought, or that thought, quote unquote, came into my head, I'm on 95. Just imagine a car driving past you, right? With Virginia tags that say blah, 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 666. Within 30 seconds of you having that thought. Now, that's not me predicting something. That's something telling me, whatever you want to believe it is, demons, spirits, whatever. Something telling me and giving me, and again, I've been talking about this where I can be able to predict stuff. I'm smarter than I'm supposed to be. Like, I'm not really that smart per se, education wise, genetic wise, like average intelligence, but there's things that are like feeding me correct information, like gut instinct type of things happening, right? So that's the computer aspect. That has nothing to do with the FBI and gift cards and all that shit, okay? The whole town being in on it, like that's all fake. So the break-ins do have to do with these groups, the FBI, witchcraft groups, whoever's fucking behind your targeting for the break-ins, the physical targeting. So they want you to commit suicide. They want you to feel helpless, because if someone's breaking in your house and they're doing little things like they used to put glitter glue on my furniture. Like, again, me saying it, this is the whole point, is to get you locked up in a mental institution. Oh, someone's putting glitter glue on your drawers, huh? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's take a trip to the hospital, buddy. Oh, someone came to your house with a blowtorch mark, huh? Yeah, 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 yeah. Dude, that's the whole point of it. So it's a multifaceted weapon, the break-in, okay? The break-in is to gaslight you into a mental institution, to get you shot up by police, like Sonia Massey. Like Sonia Massey was probably a fucking TI, to be honest with you. So here's how it works. You get these little minuscule break-ins, like, oh, a blowtorch mark, some glitter glue, someone put holes in your sock, So let me tell you a story about these socks, man. And this did affect me, man. I'm letting you know on some real shit here. Like, this is not mental illness. This is something that fucking happened, and you can make fun of me for it. That's plenty. That's plenty fine. Like, I would make fun of myself about it. It's me crying over a fucking pack of socks, man. Like, again, I'm not rich. You know, like, I try to dress as nice as I can. I go to Burlington Coat Factory. I buy like stuff that's on sale and shit like that. I try to be as nicely dressed as possible, right? I'm not like some fashionista person, but I don't like wearing old clothes. I don't like wearing old shoes. I'm not anyone that's some trendsetter, but hey, I like to look fucking nice, okay? I bought a pack of Ralph Lauren polo ankle socks, man. Like, legit, not the ones that are like beneath the shoes, but go about a quarter inch, 2 inches above the shoe. The high ankle sock. You can see the nice Ralph Lauren polo. And the reason why I like these socks is because they were Ralph Lauren, and I got them for like $10, and it was a 6 pack of them. There was gray, there was white, there was black. And this is in the beginning of my Target in 2021. I've spoke about this shit. These motherfuckers destroyed every fucking sock. They took it, they put holes in it, they destroyed it, dude. I'm talking about brand new socks because I think it was a pack of 5, so I'll wear like 2. I'm the type of person, I'll wear 2, then I'll come back a few months later with other packs or whatever. And I like to. I'm just meticulous about keeping my clothes in good condition. Okay. Like, first they started putting holes in it, and it's just like obvious big fucking like circular holes, and like pulling strings out of brand new socks. And I'm like, at first you're thinking, maybe, you buy a pack of socks and they're defective, or, this and that, blah, blah, blah. You don't think actually someone's breaking in and doing this shit at first, okay? These people, like, bro, I have socks. Let me tell you again, I'm not trying to go into a sock story here, but everyone's own socks. They last like 5-10 years, man. Like, whether whatever condition. Bro, they took the socks, they stole the socks. It was like they were shitting on me so hard that I bought these socks. It was a real way. And again, they were vandalizing other clothing items too, very lightly. Like, it wasn't that bad, but like the socks, it was just like these people. And again, I was living in a Section 8. I was in Section 8, but it was a Section 8 apartment. People living there were in Section 8, and they had shitty clothes. Like, these were black people that were gang stalking me. There was like a handful of them. They lived with their mom. They're like 40 years old. They were like slow. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, they never worked. They looked dusty. So, again, in my head, I connected that they did that. Because the way someone did attack those socks, man, it was just like, there's certain things that just fucking sting in this program, man. And it's just like, damn, dude, like, it's not about the socks. It's like, damn, bro, like, I bought a pack of socks and I can't even have a pack of fucking socks without you guys going to ape shit. But it's all to gaslight you. It's all to make you seem like, oh, this program is going to take everything from you. Because over time, because when you're going through that in the beginning, you think, oh shit, if I buy a new shirt, they're going to put holes in it. They're going to come with a knife and cut it. Like, I better not buy any fucking clothes. I better be the cheapest fucking clothes wear. Like, I'm about to just wear, like, dude, I was thinking about, I'm about to just buy Kmart shoes and Walmart. Like, fuck this. If they're gonna do all that, like, that's the whole point of it. It's not about, oh, I like my socks. It's like, whoa, like, damn, bro, like, I can't even own socks. That what we're doing right now? Really? I got a fucking plane flying over me. Completely. I know the flight path around here. Let's see if it synchronizes with me. See, that's another thing that happens in the beginning of your targeting is these planes that will just fly. I'm talking about perfectly symmetrically over you all day, every day. Jetliner, it's just like they go out their way, they curve, and that's something it's and all this stuff is real. I don't know what the fucking technology is. I believe it has to do with some type of technology. I don't think they're actually sending planes. I don't think it goes that deep, but it could. It very well could. And if it does, it doesn't last forever. But what I was feeling during these break-in periods, like there were things I was getting wrong. So you come home and you see shit that's most likely not, like, I'll give you some real stuff that happened first, okay? Because I don't want to get into all the stuff I got wrong. So I've coming home and you live alone, so you know what the deal is. Like, it's not about, oh, I put my cup in the kitchen sink and when I got home it was on the counter. That's a mistake. That's a memory issue. Like, stuff, like, bro, I didn't have a woman over my house for many months. Okay, I lived alone. No one came to my house that I invited for a long period of time, bro. So I'm not the type of person to invite dudes over my house, man. Like, I'm getting too old for like hanging out and drinking and smoking and all that shit. So it was a long period of time where no one came in my house, and I would come home. I live in a Hispanic neighborhood, and there would be a Hispanic woman's hair on my fucking dining room table. Okay, I had an air mattress. This air mattress I only use once or twice. It's sitting in my storage unit because, again, I only use it when I travel. I don't recreationally sleep on an air mattress. I'm the only person that used it. I come home one day and there's a fucking, I think I blow it up for one reason or another. I forget why. I don't know what happened, but it looked like a lotion stain. I want to say it's a fucking semen stain, but what it looked like was a lotion stain in a Hispanic woman's hair on my fucking air mattress. So in my head, I'm going to say, oh, someone came in here and had sex on my air mattress, right? Again, that sounds fucking nuts. It probably didn't happen, right? Probably didn't happen. But again, I'm just telling you what I saw. And, you own an air mattress, you sleep on it once. You come home one day, use it again, and there's fucking what seems to be a lotion or some type of seminal stain and a woman's hair that's never been in your bed to your knowledge in that fucking air mattress. Okay. And again, that sounds crazy. I know that. So the point, let's say they did do that, right? We don't know what happened, but let's say they did do that for some reason, right? So what would be the point? I call the cops and I say, oh, someone broke in and they had sex on my air mattress. They left a hair. Do you want to see it? And it's automatically a record with the police that you're mentally ill. So let's say you have 5, 10, 15, 20 calls. They have their procedures like don't answer your calls, you're mentally ill. And then let's say the 21st call, you get vigilant with the police. Oh, you're doing it. Why aren't you helping? Look, it's something that's even real. Like, oh, look, they took a shit in my kitchen. See, like if someone broke in your house and they locked the door when they left, like they didn't actually break in, they had a key, and they took a shit in your sink, and you call the police, like, oh, someone took a shit in my sink, like you will get in trouble. And if you yelled at the cops because you think they're in on it, then those cops might shoot you. So that's the whole fucking point of the break-ins. That's why I got mad at Strongest Boss. Like, yeah, you can make fun of me. You can make fun of any tactic I'm talking about, but this specific tactic could have led to my death. And being that some targeted individuals are armed and you're making these claims, and if the police know you're armed, they're gonna come like fucking with their hands on their guns and like, oh shit, like that's their procedure. And if you do something stupid, you're a dead targeted individual. So that's the whole point of the fucking break-ins. It's to get a record of you being mentally ill. Because I lived alone by myself. I live with my parents. I live with other people. And I just don't make up fucking random occurrences of stuff happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't make up like, oh, my paintings, they were all fine when I bought them, but now they have fucking vandalism marks all over it. Like, now they're this and that. Like, that's not something I invest my time in when I'm living with other people or in the past by myself. Now, I'm susceptible to conspiracies, to making mistakes. I made mistakes in that, but I learned my lesson early on. I'm not a lifelong schizophrenic that just makes up vandalism, dude. Like, one thing they're doing to like, bro, I have an Xbox One. It's an old Xbox. And it's hacked. Like, I have a video of it being hacked. Like, at first, I try to do the benefit of a doubt for every single fucking thing, guys. Seriously, I do. Like my old controller broke. It was old, whatever. I bought a new one off Amazon. This one's broken now too. In a carpeted room, like the right trigger button, the turbo button for Madden for accelerating speed doesn't work. So like I can't really play any fucking games with it. That's within 2 months of getting that controller. I didn't drop it. I didn't do shit. In the meantime, my Xbox will just turn on randomly. Now, that's a technical error, is what I research, right? But all of this stuff coincides with the targeting, the financial destitute of these traps set up, like, oh, just keep buying Xbox controllers, just keep buying phones. Your phones keep getting hacked. Just buy more phones. Just buy the new iPhone. Buy the $4,000 iPhone, the $2,000 iPhone. Oh, that's hacked. Well, just buy new $2,000 iPhone. So that's the things you're going through as a target. It's not like you're making things up and you have some fucking chip on your shoulder. It's like, bro, these are obvious things of just harassment. Now, I don't think it's all people doing this shit. I think there's something like technology so advanced that they can just like fucking with satellites destroy your fucking life or something. I don't know, man. Maybe we're living in a simulation because some of the stuff that happens in this fucking program. I mean, the break-ins is what solidifies that this shit is real. That is some type of counterintelligence program because you hear whistleblowers from Boeing getting break-ins and shit like that. But the straw man argument is like, oh, what are you worth? You're just a regular citizen. But we already heard about regular citizens being spied on, being fucked with. We don't know if it's the actual government. It could be fucking transnational organizations. It could be Russians. It could be fucking CIA. It's not the fucking municipalities of your local fucking government doing this shit. But the break-ins, I'm gonna go over how I know for a fact, like if you're a normal person, these things happen and you know for a fact for yourself that people broke into your house. So before the break-ins even happened, because I was just a paranoid fuck, before the even overt gang stalking that which happened in February 2021, we're talking about December 2020 when I first moved the apartment. I just want to make sure like no one was coming in my house. So I went on vacation. I moved in December 20th and then I go visit my parents for Christmas like maybe a day later or the next day. So I leave one of my clothing dresser drawers open, just one of them, like the middle one. I leave it like 3-4 inches open and I close all the other ones because my thinking is, I've told this story before, if someone like a detective, a private investigator, a burglar, anybody's snooping around that's looking for stuff, if they're gonna rummage through your fucking drawers, they're not gonna remember, oh, that one drawer in the middle, that was open a crack, but his other ones were closed. So I'm gonna open that one a crack open and because he did that on purpose. That's why I did that. They would think you did that by accident that you wouldn't notice. That's even a professional, okay? No burglars like, let me make sure every dresser drawer, that one was like a little bit open. Like, come on, man. No one's doing that. So that's why I did that. And it was just not to prove anything, just to see if people were coming to my house. That's all. I come back and that dresser drawer that was open 3-4 inches, maybe 4.5 inches, and all the other ones were completely closed. This is a big armoire type of dresser that has the drawers and the big closet opening doors. So it's probably like 5 feet tall. That fucking thing was closed. Okay. So I obviously checked to see if anything was stolen. Nothing was stolen. So there you go, strongest boss. They don't fucking steal. So anyone saying is a perp. Oh, but they didn't steal nothing. Well, we know people can install spy equipment. We know people can do different things. There's people that are stalkers that break into celebrities' houses that don't steal nothing. Like there's weirdos that do shit like that. Like you don't control them. Okay. And especially if you're a target individual that's being harassed with vandalism on your car and things, like obviously they're not going to steal nothing. It's like when they vandalize your car, they don't throw a brick through your windshield and set it on fire. They do covert key vandalism and things like that. So the next thing is, I'm gonna go in kind of order, chronological order. The next thing was I'm living in that apartment. I come home on a Sunday. I stay home all day Sunday. I go to the gym for an hour and a half at Anytime Fitness. and I come right back. So I have a 2-hour window where I left that house, and I believe I didn't leave for the rest of the day. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But I know I was home that whole fucking time. I come home, and inside my cupboards, again, I've been living here for months. I've been opening these cupboards to get cups and things like that. Is brown cockroach gel. I'm going in chronological order of what really fucking happened as far as people breaking in my house. So exterminator brown cockroach gel, many pieces of it, all in my fucking cabinets, right? So this is when my car vandalism's happening. This is when I bought a Cadillac from a dealership, and people are keying my Cadillac every day. New key marks, just like destroying it. So I've already talked to the leasing office about that, right? So now I look like the crazy tenant, and this is in the beginning of the harassment 2021, where I've never experienced anything like this. So someone comes in, they put blobs of cockroach gel. It's this dark brown gel substance. I had to like research them. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And from what I researched on Google, it's cockroach gel. So I go down to the leasing office Monday. I'm like, did you guys send an exterminator on Sunday to come into my house and do that? Like put stuff like that? Because I don't want that shit. I have a cat. Like I don't want poisons and shit. Like I'm pretty good about that stuff. Like cockroaches, I have Raid. I use bleach. It's not an issue with me, right? I didn't say all that, but I'm just saying. But they sit there and tell me, oh no, they don't even come Sundays. They're not even supposed to be here on Sunday. So it's more of the gaslighting to get me riled up. So that's the second thing that fucking happened. The third thing that happens, there's this yellow goldish glitter glue that they put all over my fucking. I have a computer desk, and this was their furnished apartment. This was old furniture in like a Section 8 style tower type apartment, like fucking one big building. And they put glitter glue all over the fucking place. And not all over, but like blobs of glitter glue that just clearly weren't fucking there. Like you would notice that. And it's just fucking just in your face. So to me, in that first apartment, that was low lives that live in that apartment. Like I pretty much have an idea. I don't like to jump to conclusions because that's another thing. Is that you jump to conclusions and you heard a neighbor or something and you're on the news. Like there's a multifaceted outcome matrix from these break-ins. And that's what they're studying. And it's part of the it's one of the most worst tactics you're gonna get is the break-ins. So after that, like when my targeting goes overt, I've already told this story. I had a $300 jump starter. All of this broke in a week, guys. I don't know how they did it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who did it. If it's technology or what they did, but I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. Like, imagine you're a TI, you're a normal person, you're getting all this harassment all of a sudden. That's just like fucking random harassment day by day. You come home, you have a $300 DeWalt jump starter that has an air compressor pump that was gifted to you by your fucking for Christmas. That's no longer working. It was working perfectly fine. It was a lifesaver because your tires would always go flat. It was a really great fucking thing. And it was new. It was fucking months old. It was working fine. Doesn't work no more. Your beard trimmer and your hair trimmer you use to cut your hair and your beard that's wireless. That's, another present I got from my brother for Christmas. Something he probably bought off Amazon for 40, $50 that I would never buy for myself. That's also broken. Your internet router with Spectrum, you've been DDoSed. You have to call Spectrum to put in a new router. You're out of internet for a few days. All of that in the same day. I don't remember if it was socks. I don't think the socks were involved yet. I think that might have been later. There was other things that fucking broke too. But all that's happening in the same 48 hours. You're getting harassed other ways too. Your car's being vandalized. All this is happening. You're living by yourself. You know what normal life is. No, nothing's happened. I'm gonna talk about how I take care of cars. I've been renting cars for a year and like a half. I haven't fucked up one car. I haven't hit a curb. I haven't done shit. Like this is how I take care of everything I fucking own or whatever I'm renting. There's other people like me. There's nothing special. We just take care of our shit. We don't ding it up. Your rental cars are getting keyed up every fucking car you bring. You're renting dozens of cars. They're all getting vandalized systematically. Stuff like that just doesn't fucking happen, man. It doesn't. Like, I've owned 15, 20 cars. Yeah, they have mechanical issues and things happen. But as far as scratches and vandalism, no, that stuff doesn't happen every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? So you just imagine that. So it's like some of the stuff you may be wrong about, and and you're trying to just investigate. You're trying to do the best you can, right? But overall, the picture is if you're in that person's shoes, you're living in that fucking experience, you're being harassed. Okay. Like, it's just blatant, it's in your fucking face, and it's full spectrum. And then, like, the only people that can pull this shit off is like a fusion center. Okay. So later on, when I move into the next apartment, there's long periods of times where break-ins aren't happening. Keep in mind, there's periods of times where I feel like I'm being mind controlled to like fucking have anxiety about it, and like I'm not gonna go into details about that, and I'm making mistakes, and but I don't feel like that's me. Like, I honestly feel like, because again, I feel different now, so I could have been drugged, because again, I don't like going into conspiracy. Oh, I could have been this, I could have been that, but technically, if someone's allowed, because this is what's going on, people are allowed to break in your house. Your neighbors aren't doing shit about it. They're not. My neighbor had a fucking Ring doorbell, but they were a legal immigrant, Honduran fucking bad fucking, like, again, I'm not judging the whole neighborhood. They're probably decent people. I'm just judging, like, I'm a good judge of character. Like, these people didn't fucking work. They were making money off the fucking government, and they were gang stalking. And they were the people that broke into my fucking house. So I'll go into the last break-in. So these break-ins, they're spread apart, they're months apart. You're mostly getting things wrong. It's not like I've been a target for 3-4 years. You're not breaking into your house every week or every month or every day. Like, it's not like that. There's time periods where they do that, or at least seems like that, for a few months, because they're trying to get that outcome of you fucking calling the police. Like, their main mission is have you call the police. Okay, have you institutionalized, have you get shot by cops. That's the whole point of it. They're not going to steal nothing. Going back to the cologne story, like, he didn't steal the cologne. Like, again, I don't make accusations. I like to fucking think of reality based. Like, I don't like to jump to conclusions. So again, like, I think someone's stealing my cologne because I walked by the porch guy that was sitting on my porch, and he smelled like that Aqua de Joe cologne, and I'm getting broken in on. So I put a permanent mark on the cologne where the fill line was, which was like a quarter left, and I waited a few weeks, and nothing happened. So again, I was wrong about that. So I do test people. That's what I'm trying to get at. I do test. I don't jump to fucking especially when it comes to break-ins, man. I want to be fucking sure, man. Like, more than you listening to me tell a story about it. I want to be fucking sure, and I will do tests. There are ways to test it that this shit's going on. So the last break-in that I make a big deal about, because it was probably the worst, most craziest break-in. I don't think the gang stalking program directed this. I think the people that were gang stalking me did this on their own accord. So I'm pulling to my neighborhood. These people, there's an entrance to my neighborhood, and then there's an entrance after that to the apartments, and there's different entrances. So these people, like, they don't have parking passes, right? And they're illegal immigrants. There's like 10 of them in a house, which I think it's bullshit to have parking passes. Like, their cars shouldn't be towed. I think they should be allowed to park there. But they park on the curb. On the road, they'll park halfway on the curb, halfway on the road to save space so their car doesn't get fucked up. And this guy was blocking the entrance of my apartment. And he was just sitting there because he was waiting to get on the curb. And I didn't know that. It didn't look like that. It looked like he was just being a dickhead and blocking the entrance of my apartment. So, and again, I know for a fact this happened, right? I honk my horn. I park my car. I walk out. I cuss. I'm not facing him. He's probably like 20, 30 feet away. I didn't confront him. He has his own right. I'm not going to sit here and try to fight you, but if you're being stupid, like, I'm allowed to fucking be mad about that. That's just America. Get over it, dude. If you don't like that, you shouldn't belong. Especially if you come here illegally and you break into my house and do what I'm about to say. Like, yeah, you should be fucking deported. Like, you have no respect. Like, you're a danger to everybody. Like, that dude sitting on my porch should be deported, bro. Because it's like, what if I was a woman and that guy was trying to intimidate me by sitting on my porch every fucking night? And I was a woman and he was waiting for me to go to sleep so he could grape me. That's how he was at. And I don't think that was his idea to do that. I think he was being paid by the police to do that. But he's still a scumbag for getting paid for it, right? So that guy's parked up. He's blocking the entrance of the driveway. He's taking like 30 seconds, 60 seconds. I park my car. I cuss. I call him a fucking faggot, a bitch. I walk away. He hears me, but I'm not walking towards him. I'm not being aggressive. You know, I'm talking under my breath. So I'm being spied on in this fucking apartment because I'm being targeted. And this is the proof of it. So I go into my apartment and I go into a tirade. I go into a racist tirade. I call him the S word. I go in on people in the neighborhood. I talk shit on people in the neighborhood. I do shit like that. I don't give a fuck. It's my right. Anybody, if you want to talk shit on me in the privacy of your home, like I shouldn't be allowed to come like kill you because you talk shit in the privacy of your home. It's privacy. It's a right. It's a worldwide global right. Okay. You're not a tyrant dictator, little Guatemalan that's going to do something because someone talked in their house. Or if you're a Spanish person and you were talking shit on a black person in the comfort of your fucking home, that black person shouldn't be like breaking your house and knocking your teeth in your house. Like that's just not how the world works, bro. So I cuss him out like walking away, 30 feet away, 40 feet away. Not even to like provoke anything, but I'm pissed off and I'm gonna express that. I go in my house, I go on a tirade for like 15 minutes, talking shit on the whole fucking neighborhood because I had enough of the gang stalking in the neighborhood. And I was talking outlandish, fucking semi-racist shit to piss people off in a normal speaking voice. I wasn't yelling it. Maybe I was. I fucking don't know, right? So the next day I leave. And again, this is after I changed my locks a few times. These people came into my house with a key, right? They got a dustpan. Now, this actually happened. This isn't speculation, right? They had a dustpan. Again, I didn't see it. I don't have cameras, but this is what they did. They got a dustpan because I was on the bottom floor. It was dirty. They had a dustpan full of hair, pet hair. We're talking black people's hair, Hispanic people's hair, an orange hair that's like a dyed hair, receipts, little pieces of receipt paper that I've never went to stores for, like farmers markets and things like that. Uh, Little stuff you find on the ground, dead cockroaches. So dead water cockroaches, water bugs, little ones. And they just chuck it into my fucking fridge. Okay. The next thing they do is they go into the bathroom. I have a light fixture that's made out of chrome. And they replace that light fixture with an older one from an older apartment. Again, I'm presuming all this stuff that had cobwebs, had spiderweb cobwebs that was rusted, had literal, like it looked like something that was sitting outside. So they took my light fixture and put that old light fixture in. And like I was perplexed. I was like, I didn't even know what happened. Like you just, when something like that happens, you don't just jump to the conclusion someone did that. Like you're like, what? Like first I thought my fridge, and like, is my fridge malfunctioning? Is that possible? XYZ, right? And then I look at the light fixture. I'm like, that light fixture, maybe it was always like that and I never noticed. Like I literally for 24 hours like tried to do everything. Like how would they, like, now with the light fixture, it was under a mirror. Like you could tell the mirror was taken off and like the screws on the mirror were loose. So again, that was a fucking break-in, right? Um when I was sitting outside of my car after that, like days later, the guy that I was cussing out, he was drunk and he was walking by, and I was trying to open my car door. He pushed the car door like close. He was like really drunk. He was like this short Hispanic guy, and I couldn't understand what he was saying. He's like, "Why did you like cuss?" He's basically, I'm trying to paraphrase and translate because he was a drunk. It wasn't even his accent. He was really drunk and came and tried to tell me. He's like, "Why were you like cussing that guy out because they were really confused that I was cussing that guy out because they were just parking in their head like, oh, I'm just parking. And I was being kind of a dick, but so was he. He's like, why did you like do that the other day? Blah, 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 blah. And then he like, I was trying to get out. I'm like, yo, get the fuck away from me. And he like closed the door on my leg a little bit and shit like that. So I know that break-in actually fucking happened. I don't think it was a part of gang stalking, but I think the people that had access to my apartment did that on their own. Because prior to that, my gang stalking was slowing down. I was getting ready to move out of that apartment. Like usually when you move out, they stop the tactics because there's no need to harass you like right before you're moving. Like that doesn't make fucking sense. They're going to chill, they're going to save their resources, they're going to figure out where you're going. They're going to dedicate their resources to find out where you're going and setting up shop in the next place you're moving to. That's where they're going to dedicate their resources when you're about to end a lease. Now, another thing is I confronted my leasing office. I told them it was sick what they did. Like, I'm not even allowed to live a home alone because you got people in this neighborhood that fucking come into your house and do shit like that. Imagine if I had a kid at the house, like a daughter or something. Like, what would they do to that kid? They would obviously do something to that kid if they have all this power. Like, hypothetically, I'm talking from a police perspective. If someone has the power to break in your house and like your kid's home alone and they know the neighbors aren't going to say shit and they have like dude, they might hurt your kid, dude. Now, this is where Strongest Boss comes in. Strongest Boss was harassing me. Okay, I believe he knew about that break-in. Okay, he knew about that break-in and he started harassing me, and that's why this whole fucking dilemma came out where I exposed him as all these sock accounts. Okay, now this is why I'm mad at Strongest Boss. Now, when it comes to break-ins and home invasions, we're taking gang stalking out of the equation because Strongest Boss like, oh, but they don't steal nothing. They don't steal nothing. They didn't steal nothing though. First and foremost, if someone was breaking in to steal all the time, I would keep nothing of value in my house and just lock my items up. There's ways to avoid someone stealing, okay? And burglars don't keep breaking in when there's nothing to steal. They go find something to steal. So they look for fucking white families that have cash, that have live in a big suburban house with low security, that have nice lawns. That's a burglar's paradise. And they do it in the daytime, whatever. I grew up on World Star Hip Hop, man. I'm a black gentleman that grew up on the internet, and I grew up and I saw the fucking horrors of the black culture on World Star Hip Hop. World Star Hip Hop used to have people home invading other black men. So we're talking about black gangsters home invading another black gangster, tying that gangster up, having sex with that gangster's wife in front of him and recording it and saying, World Star. They had videos of people breaking in, tying people up. Like, that's something that traumatized me as a fucking 16, 17, and 18-year-old. Like, that's what I know of. And then I heard stories. I met a woman who, again, I'm not talking about race, but this is part of the rap gangster culture in the inner cities, especially in the 90s and 2000s. It was a white woman whose boyfriend, he was trying to be like a little white gangster and was selling weed or something. So home invaders broke in, they tied up her boyfriend, and they started taking turns with her in front of the boyfriend. Like, that's something that fucking happens to people, dude. And then people like Strongest Boss, he wants to take your guns away. Okay? Because these fucking idiots want to ignore the fact, and it's not black people that can do it. It can be anybody. It could be fucking an Arab person. It could be a white supremacist. It could be a cartel MS-13. It's not about race. It's about the extremity of the person's gang culture or satanic affiliation with violence in a group of crime. It could be a white supremacist. It could be a MS-13 cartel member doing it to another Hispanic person. It could be a black Chicago gangster disciple. It could be, anybody. It could be a fucking Yakuza. This is part of warfare. It's part of warfare going back to ancient times of breaking into someone's fucking property. You tie the fucking man up. You have turns with the kids, the wife, the sons, the daughters, everyone in the fucking house. You kill all of them. You steal all their fucking stuff. And that's what the Gangstalking program knows. So when you're a new target and people are breaking into your house, you might sleep with a gun under the pillow or a knife under your pillow because these people are coming in to tear up your fucking socks. You don't know what the fuck they're going to do to you when you're sleeping. These people are showing ownership over you when they fucking do these tactics, these break-in tactics. That's the main thing. We own you, dude. You can't call the cops. You know, we basically fucking have the cops in our back pocket. You look crazy. You look like this. So when fucking idiots like Strong as Boss who live in suburban Colorado Springs and fucking have everything they ever dreamed of, barely ever fucking working, and then they don't understand the severity of a fucking break-in, you know, let alone the gangster break-ins. Let's talk about a break-in where a woman is assaulted in her sleep because someone was fucking watching her and she lives on the first floor apartment. Like, how common is that? Not every break-in is about a bird. It's about a crazy person that doesn't respect anybody's fucking rights. And they like, dude, your house is your fucking domain, dude. And there's a reason for that. Even if you live in a cardboard box and you're sleeping in a car and someone shows up in your fucking cardboard box, like, dude, you're in a vulnerable state. You can be easily hurt, you know. You don't know what's coming. Like the person invading your home, breaking into your home, they can do it at any fucking time. They can do it while you're there, you're not there, while you're asleep, while you're awake. You don't know. You don't know. You're not in their fucking head. So, as you heard me say, like all this stuff isn't severe stuff. A couple holes in socks, a torch mark. It's all stuff you can joke about and you can laugh about. I get it, man. That's fine. Like I honestly don't think about this shit. But the reason why I'm putting this information out, I want to give you the severity level of the break-ins. Like, dude, there's nothing you can do about it. Let's talk about cameras. People talk about cameras. So obviously, again, I'm not a person that just jumps to conclusions. I look for solutions. I changed my own locks when people broke into my house several fucking times. I didn't know how to change locks. I learned how to do it on my fucking own. So idiots are gonna say, "Oh, we'll put a camera up," and this is a possibility of when you put a camera up. So I had a camera that was a dash camera, and it was connected to my computer, and it was recording my front door. There was only one way in, one way out. I was on the 7th floor apartment, and it was able to catch anybody coming in my fucking house. It was perfect setup. So here's the first fucking problem. You're gonna be reviewing camera footage every fucking day. So I would leave for 1 hour, 2 hours, come back, review camera footage. Leave for 1 hour, 2 hours, come back and review camera footage. Leave for 1 hour, 2 hours, come back and review camera footage. That shit will drive you fucking insane. So the next thing is one time, so my camera was a dash camera and it was set up to my computer and it would be saving my video files in 15-minute increments. And the video file format was VID001 for the first video, VID for video 002, VID003, VID004. And this has happened to other targets that I've been researching on, right? I came home one day, it went from VID001, VID002, then VID003 is gone, 004 is gone, 005 is gone, 006 is gone. Then it goes from 2 all the way to 7 with no explanation. Again, I didn't touch anything. There's no reasoning for that. And this is what happens when a quote unquote target individual tries to record someone breaking in. The video files go missing. Okay. I've seen it on alternative home setting. on her security camera, a big pink wall showed up. Like her security camera was pointed at a building on her property. She is accuses something happened. I don't remember, but a big pink wall, electronic little graphic pink wall on her camera screen showed up over her building, just perfectly over her building. So what I'm trying to tell you is your cameras can be easily hacked. But I'm not sure myself if all these fucking break-ins are done by fucking burglars. Okay. There are things when it's intimidating you and shit like that. Yeah. Okay. Like again, you'll come home, there'll be like new patches of drywall that's been like frosted over with Spalco. Like, dude, it's just weird shit on top of weird shit on top of weird shit. And I want to tell you why. Let's say these break-ins are happening, what they're doing, what the main reason of it is. I've already discussed it. But for you directed energy people, I believe that directed energy transmitters are placed in drywall and placed in little things that are like secret things. And they have you as a TI that's on YouTube. They start sending the frequencies out with these little transmitters into your house. So it only fucking affects you. That's my opinion. That's why I think the break-ins happen. Like me, my bed vibrates. My bed has my foam cushion bed has electromagnetic frequency where I lay my head on the reader coming out of it. I made videos on it. It's higher than a light bulb as far as the frequency from the whatever, the Nikola Teslas, whatever the fuck the shit is. I'm not an expert in that. So I believe that the break-ins are to experiment, to install like transmitters, to possibly have you death by cop. And I think that's the purpose of the break-ins. But again, man, this isn't like riveting stuff. I just want to really discuss that because it's been like a hot time. I don't really fucking even care. Like, that's how you know strongest boss is a gang stalker. It's like, bro, I don't fucking care that. I did. When I thought I could collect evidence and get someone in trouble for it or whatever, like for a little period of time. But as far as proving it, having it intertwined with my story or my testimony, like I just don't give a fuck about the break-ins. Like it just doesn't fucking affect me. Like I can always. So for my break-in situation, which there's certain things I know for sure happened and there's certain things I got confused about. But one thing I know for sure, when I change my locks and no one has access to the key, including the apartment, that the break-ins would stop for a period from anywhere from like 1 to 3 months. And then somehow they'll be able to get a fucking new key and then they'll start doing shit and then I'll change the locks again. See, I was going to Ollie's and buying these like fucking cheap ass fucking locks for the sole purpose of like they're easy to pop on, pop off, and you know, it buys you time. So yeah, man, if you're a targeted individual, my opinion, you're gonna, unless you're living with someone, again, let me reiterate this. If you're living with people, you're not going to experience break-ins unless they want you to get mad at the people you're living at. Like it's not the people doing it. Like they're not getting hired or nothing like that. Unless you're not close with them, unless you don't know them that well. But that stuff stops when you're living with other people. There's just too much invested in you have a witness, like there's just too much. Why, like if you have a witness, that just makes you seem even more credible to the police. Think about that. If there's two people saying people are breaking in, the police have to take it fucking serious. So I really kind of do think certain police fucking departments are involved in this shit, man. Like the city I was living at, I think the police were fucking doing that shit, dude. I'll just be honest with you. But other stuff wasn't the police. It was a little bit too advanced for the police. But the whole break-in, I mean, dude, it's just a death by cop scenario. Discrediting Sarah. That's pretty much all it is. But I'm wrapping this shit up, man.